a benefits administration service business, and now they're a public company. So they've gone from, like, over the last 15 years, a not so big firm to a very big firm. So Andrew, take it away.
Great. Well, thank you, Marty, for the introduction there. So happy to be here, everyone. So my name is Andrew Brown. I am the Managing Director of Sales for the financial services platform at Trinet. And for those who aren't aware, Trinet is an HR outsourcing company. We actually have been in business for 32 years. We went public in 2014, and currently we have 18,000 clients, of which 3,800 are financial service firms. And to break that down even a little bit further, 1,500 of which are alternative investment companies. So we have a lot of experience in this space, and we really kind of understand the operational needs of investment firms.
And Andrew, can Douglas introduce himself as well? Doug?
Yep, we're going to
just real quick.
Do that next. Go ahead, Doug, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey, absolutely. Yeah, this is Douglas Parker, Trinet, sales consultant here in the tri-state area, New York City. So happy to be here and to speak with you guys.
Great. So thanks, Doug. So today we're going to talk about our industry, which is human resources, as it relates to the financial services community, and really discuss different strategies for kind of handling your HR needs, whether it's to do something in-house or to outsource it, and really the pros and cons of each. So with that said, I'd like to reintroduce my colleague, Doug Parker, to start the presentation. Doug?
Sure. Thanks, Andrew. So just want to kind of go through, obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of business owners on this call, COOs, CFOs, managers, and we're just going to talk about all of the different options, when it comes to handling HR that you have, right? Obviously, there's a lot going on in the world right now, and I think this is a very, a touchy subject, but I think it's definitely warranted. So let's just get right into it. Handling HR, right? Let's just say you're a 20-person firm that wants to, start your own, firm, and you want to operate HR and kind of do it internally. And a lot of firms do that, right? And there's advantages and disadvantages to that. Let's just say, you have greater control, and, it's a little bit less expensive to do it on your own. But obviously the problem with that is if you're a startup, boutique investment firm, you have limited expertise, right? You're a hedge fund manager, and your business is hedge fund. Your business is serving your clients. You didn't get into business to handle HR, right? And really it takes the focus away from your core responsibilities, and it's really time consuming, right? And, a lot of times people don't necessarily, not only do they not know what they're doing, but it just takes away from the overall goals of your firm if your focus is kind of spread out like that, handling HR aspects of the business. And then let's just say you wanted to grow your firm, right? How difficult is it if you say, I'm a 10-person firm, but I want to get to 20 within the next 2 years? How difficult is it to, do the onboarding and the offboarding and to, help, grow your firm in that regard? I think it's extremely challenging for business owners. And then also, not to mention the compliance that comes with, the HR aspects of your business. Hey, we live in an extremely litigious society. And it's very difficult to keep up with all of the HR related laws that are happening right now and all of the changes that are happening. So, and to run your business on top of, kind of managing that, it's almost impossible, right? So, doing it internally is, there's pros and cons to it, but there's definitely challenges. The next option you have would be to hire someone, to hire additional staff, right? So if you're a bigger company, this may be a good fit for you. Let's just say you're a 200-person firm, and you say, hey, look, it makes sense, right? We want to start to build out our own HR staff. So that in that case, it might make sense. But let's say you're a smaller firm, that might not be an option for you, right? And you have to pay, that HR manager or that team, and it could be extremely pricey. So a lot of firms, a lot of smaller firms, they might not be able to do that, and it might not be an option for them. Okay. Then option number 3 is, kind of what we see a lot at Trinet is, multiple vendor solutions, right? So basically someone doing your payroll, someone doing your benefits, someone doing other aspects of your business, a lot of different vendors. And sometimes there's advantages to this as well. It kind of helps it helps you manage the risk and address some growth needs, but there are challenges with, managing all of these different relationships when it comes to vendors, right? So if you're onboarding and you want to, kind of service your employees, them having multiple logins for a lot of different vendors can a lot of times be challenging, and it's not the best experience for employees. So, and then again, it can be pricey to work with a lot of different vendors as well. Again, every situation is different, but there is positives to that because you get to kind of choose a la carte, what vendors you want to work with. And then there's option number 4, obviously working with a PEO. So a lot of you guys may or may not be familiar with a PEO, but I would say the benefits to working with a PEO like Trinet or any other solution is that it provides you with a lot of flexibility, right? Again, you're a small firm, you're starting up your fund, what have you, and again, you don't have the expertise to handle HR, but coming on with a PEO, it's going to give you the ability to look like a big company, to have that big company infrastructure. So, Fortune 100 level healthcare benefits, HR experience and expertise when it comes to, serving your employees, and then also sharing that liability, right? Basically with working with the PEO, you're not necessarily the only one that has that liability. The PEO is going to take on that liability as well to help protect you in your business. But of course, the disadvantages is, a lot of employers say, hey, look, I'm kind of losing control of my business, which really isn't the case, but it's just a fear of losing control. And then also, a lot of people are just confused on how it works. They don't necessarily know exactly how the PEO works, and it is a little bit complex. But once you get assessed with it, you kind of realize that it's a pretty simple platform. It's just a matter of working with your partner PEO and helping you to scale your business and do all the necessary things to help your business grow. So with that being said, I want to switch it over to Andrew, and he's going to kind of get into the benefits of PEO and why it makes sense.
Great, thanks, Doug. So yeah, let's start with looking at what a PEO is, since it might be new to many of you, and the business model that they operate under. So a PEO is, quite simply, is a full HR outsourcing model, where a PEO manages functions such as payroll tax compliance, employee benefits, workers' compensation, and HR compliance. So what is the business model that PEOs operate under, and how are they able to deliver their services to their clients? It's through a unique arrangement called co-employment. So this is a legal arrangement that enables companies to transfer many employer responsibilities to the PEO, including aspects of employer-related compliance related to HR, and also gain access to many of the PEO resources such as benefits, technology, and human support. So I do want to stress that once an organization enters into a co-employment relationship with the PEO, the employees still work for that organization. The employer still retains complete control over the operations, hiring, terminating of their workforce, and building the company culture. The PEO is administrator in the background and provides HR support. Okay, so let's look at some of the advantages and use cases for considering a PEO. Obviously, it's not a fit for every company, but we'll talk through a couple scenarios where it might make sense to consider. So the first is really having a all-in-one, fully integrated HR platform that covers all HR items that a business needs to have in place once they have a few employees. Especially if a company grows, a PEO can offer an HR infrastructure and support model that allows a company to easily onboard and manage employees across multiple states. And especially in this case, in today's world, rather, you don't even need to be in multiple states because people are all working from home, and you could need a system to support onboarding employees, even if they all are working out of the same state. Also, you gain access to large company benefits. In this case, you're not subject to what the local small markets are offering and a lot of the limitations that come along with those plans. And finally, PEOs offer additional services beyond core HR functions. So this could be sexual harassment training, background checks, expense management. We do see a lot of alternative investment firms seeking to offer a world-class employee experience, and really do appreciate an all-in-one arrangement with one provider. Next slide. Okay, so the next advantage or thing to think about is, which is, I guess, a secondary advantage of utilizing a PEO, is access to big company infrastructure and benefits enables a PEO client to attract and retain key talent, and in this case, financial service professionals from a big bank, a Goldman or a Fidelity, where now a small company is offering the same level of benefits that the big companies are. So it really helps to level the playing field. A good PEO will also offer access to retirement options as well. And all of this, all the benefits, administration, enrollment activities, and ongoing reporting are all administered through a technology portal. Okay, and the third advantage or consideration when evaluating a PEO is, do you need HR expertise on a regular basis? So that will really depend on how many employees you have. Do you have multiple locations? Also, what type of employee experience and HR culture are you looking to offer? Has the work from home transition been difficult? So PEOs have HR experts assigned that can assist employers to assist their employees with all individual HR questions, needs, or changes that might need to happen. This HR expert can answer more difficult questions, giving expert guidance on things like benefits, performance reviews, how to manage their teams, how to handle the termination, that sort of thing. So we do see a lot of investment firms appreciate this model because it allows them to run a lean operation and minimize any HR distractions, and just offers a general peace of mind knowing that you're sharing risk with a much larger company. Also, we do see a lot of private equity firms see this as a good fit for their portfolio companies as a strategy to protect their investments.
Do you guys keep some kind of a knowledge base as well, like so people can easily access, policies and procedures and things like that?
We do. Great question. So a lot of that is going to be available for each client on their portal. Individual kind of log in. There's going to be access to company handbooks. There's a lot of information that we have on COVID right now, also for the PPP loans. So we do have a few microsites that clients can access should they need quick answers on any of those things. Great question. And the final consideration is, and this is more kind of along the peace of mind of sharing risk with a larger company. So this gives you a visual of what the modern employer is dealing with when it comes to regulations. So this is not static. It is ever changing and growing, as you can see by the timeline. So this is just, again, more on shifting liability to another company for your HR needs. Okay, and then just a few tips to think about if you do think that a PEO might be a good fit, some things to consider as you're going through the evaluation process. Obviously, it's not the right fit for every company. A few things to look at. Obviously, you want to make sure the pricing makes sense. If anything doesn't seem clear, ask how a company makes their money. But really, I think you want to weigh the cost of partnering with a PEO against how much it would cost you in money, time, and HR mistakes to perform the HR tasks internally. Also, you want to verify that they are a legitimate partner. There are a few industry accreditations for the HR outsourcing space to be aware of, and the best PEOs will have those. And then also, depending on what your needs are, some of the larger PEOs provide service in all 50 states, and some offer international services as well, which can be a factor.
Guys, you have about 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, we're wrapping up here. And then, does your PEO work specifically with firms in your industry is something that might be important to you. Should your PEO, is it important for you through your PEO to understand the rules and regulations in the areas and industries that you operate in? And then finally, for the benefits, which is usually a big part of the draw for companies to consider a PEO, is are you really getting access to the types of plans that can help you attract and retain the best people in your industry? Some PEOs are more general and one size fits all, while others are a little bit more specialized and offer different platforms. So I think that concludes our presentation for today. I know we're right at the end of our time, so we appreciate the opportunity to present today, and we'd be happy to connect with any of you that might have questions afterwards. And Marty, thank you again for your time.
Thanks for all the information, guys. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right. So I just want to repeat that we are looking for distressed businesses and distressed owners, as well as under 40 entrepreneurs who have had a significant exit and are looking to continue being operators of new businesses. So we're going to move over to